Buff Nation, what's going on? BWBs, all my bandwagon buffs. What's up, everyone? Welcome to TLP Sports Club Monday Night Football Talk. I'm your host, guys, Harry Billion. TLP is live. Hit that like button, share the video, tell somebody, tell your aunt, tell your uncle. We about to talk about some serious Colorado football business. That's what we do around here. We talk about the good, the bad, the ugly, and everything else in between. When we go live, we talk about it all. So do me a favor, smash that subscribe button. Let's get going. Colorado is in the media. Well, I mean, that's not no surprise, right? Right? My co-host? Oh, yeah, there's nobody right there. You got to be excited when Colorado, it's all over the media because sports, the thing about this whole college football arena, this whole college football landscape, Colorado leads the conversation. We dominate the conversation. And some people just don't like the fact that we dominate the conversation. Off the top of the show, guys, we had a great weekend recruiting. Colorado had a few key recruits, a few key 2025 pieces that we were hosting, and apparently the whole college football arena either didn't like it, they liked it, or they just, I don't know if you want to call it envious or whatever, but we dominated the weekend, and for the right reasons. So we are still on our path to the victory lane of the Big 12 championship. We're going to talk about that. But before we get to that part of the conversation tonight, guys, we got to talk about how great this weekend was. So we got to put this weekend in perspective and what it really meant for Colorado, okay? So that's what's on the menu, okay? What we're going to talk about tonight, we're going to talk about Colorado's weekend, and then we're going to go back onto our path to finding a lane or a path to victory leading to the Big 12 championship. All right? There's a lane. There's a way for us to get to the Big 12 championship. And these subsequent shows that we've been having, we're talking about how do we get there. So we're looking at the schedule that we are playing, but we're also looking at the Big 12 landscape and seeing who's who have they played, how have they fared out, and how is Colorado going to fare out against them? So that's what we're talking about on the show, but we must talk about the weekend first. To get to all of that, guys, we're going to, you can join me on this show. If you want to add to the conversation, you've been in the comment section all weekend. You've gotten the news about Juju Lewis being on campus, Chauncey being on campus, Chauncey actually committing to Colorado. You can come on here. Let's talk about it. This is your opportunity so you can have your voice heard. So you can have your voice heard. Other shows, some you don't really get to get on there, get on the panel and have your voice heard. You're kind of like in the comment section, but this is your opportunity to actually come on here as a fan or a detractor. As long as you keep it respectful, I invite anybody to come on here and let's talk about Colorado football. All right. The email is right there on your screen, guys. Join tlplive@gmail.com. That is the email. You can call in. Write down the email. If tonight's topic is not your favorite topic, you don't want to call in, write it down anyway and call in next Monday when we talk about something else, okay? But join TLP Live. That is the email on your screen. And we got to get to business, talking about Juju Lewis, talking about Chauncey. Let's talk about it, guys. We got to get into it. All right. So while you write down that email, let me make sure I got everything set up so that we can get into the show. The first thing we got to talk about is Juju Lewis being on campus and what that meant for college football as well as for Boulder. So what did that actually mean for Boulder? So we all know that there are several colleges in that area. There's CSU. There's a Colorado has several schools there. All right. But Colorado is not like, I would say, it's not like the type of town where everybody is gathered around one school right? Everybody's kind of gathered around one school, and this is the one that we're going to root for. But Colorado is actually becoming that. I've actually been to Boulder. Boulder is a wonderful place. It's a wonderful place. If you ever get an opportunity to go to Boulder, guys, take a trip to Boulder, especially if you are a new fan and you've never traveled to Colorado. Even though you saw, what was it, Robin Williams? You saw his movie where he took a trip to Colorado. On that trip, there was a lot of adventures. Trust me, that adventure did not do any justice to when you actually go to Colorado yourself. All right. I took my family there. It was beautiful. I got to see some of the locations. I went to Pearl Street. I went to the Pearl Street Mall. I actually saw the restaurants that have actually made the news. All right. I'm telling you, I've seen all of those places, and it's exciting over there in Boulder. But Boulder was rocking on the weekend. The community came out to support CU. So now CU is actually, the people of Boulder are gathering around CU. The people of Boulder are buying into the whole CU experience, and they are actually excited about what's going on at Colorado. This is the year that Coach Prime actually gets to make his mark, put his stamp on Colorado football, and it seems like the community is waking up, and they're actually starting to get involved into this whole situation, because during the weekend in Boulder, the community, the local restaurants, the local businesses, the local theaters, the local theater there, they put out, they have photos. They have photos there of They have photos of banners and photos of Juju, and they had a whole lot going on in Boulder, and they showed up and to let the recruits know that, hey, we welcome you here. This is a feeling that when you understand that the community, it's like, okay, our rival Nebraska, there ain't that much going on in Nebraska. Nebraska football is like everything, right? And I'm sorry that I have to make the comparison, but Nebraska football, when you go to Lincoln in Nebraska, everybody gathers behind Nebraska. CU, all right? CU is becoming that. The community is starting to warm up to what Coach Prime is doing over there in Boulder. And once you get that happening, the young men are already local stars. But now that you got the community behind you, everybody is supporting. It ain't like they didn't support them before, because on game days, you should be in Boulder on game days. They were there before. But the energy that they put out this weekend for Juju and the other recruits like Chauncey, I'm telling you, it was electric. And not just Juju, who felt it, but also Chauncey, who then decided to fully commit to CU. And he put that on Twitter or X, letting us know that he's 100% in. He's bought into the system. But, so we are all excited. All right, so listen, man, the email is right there. Join TLPlive@gmail.com. That's the email. If you are a fan, if you're neutral, but you want to talk about the experience, hit me up. Join TLPlive@gmail.com. Let's talk about let's turn our attention to the implications of the weekend, and that way we can go ahead and put this into perspective. Now, I must caution us, because players commit and decommit all the time. You see what I'm saying? This new landscape of college football, that's just it. But it's not going to stop us from celebrating, because the thing about it is, when you get a recruit like Juju, he is the best quarterback in the class of 2025. So when you get a recruit like Juju come through, it helps to recruit other guys. There are guys that have decided to go to USC, but once Juju, who is currently committed to USC, once there's an inkling of Juju actually decommitting from USC and then committing to CU, now you're going to have either a trickle down effect where players are going to now decommit from, there's already a couple of players that have decommitted from USC. I don't know if it's for the same reason that they either heard that Juju has also is getting ready to decommit. I don't know, because I know that Auburn is also in the fold, all right, in the conversation as well. But a couple of players have already decommitted from USC. But if Colorado can pull this off, if Colorado can actually do it again, all right, because we all know Coach Prime is Debo the Snatcher. Coach Prime is Debo the Snatcher, and that's what he does best, all right? So I'm looking forward to Coach Prime actually pulling this trigger again and doing this, because when he does that, 2025 is going to be looking good, because we're going to be doing what? Shador is gone, Shiloh's gone, Travis, and some of the other players that joined us from the transfer portal, a lot of those players are also going to be going too. So we get a player like Juju, right? We get a player like Juju, he's going to be affecting recruiting. That's what we need the most, is recruits. We need to be able to recruit 5 stars, 4 stars to this program, because then we know that the history, then we know that we're continuing what Coach Prime is trying to build. Coach Prime ain't going nowhere. A lot of people want to think or say that Coach Prime is about to leave the program. Coach Prime's not going nowhere. He's staying right here in this program, and that's why we're trying to secure somebody like Juju to make sure that we have all that secure. So, hey, what's up, DC Carson Music? What up with you, Real? What's up with you, Tennis Channel? What's up with you? Let me go ahead and get this invitation rocking so that we can go ahead and get some guys on the panel. All right, give me 1 second, guys. I'm so sorry. I should have this going. All right, here we go. Let me make sure I get this email. All right. All right, I got you. I'm coming right now with the email. So, another implication. So now, look, Coach Prime is building on this relationship that he has with Rick George and CU and the fan base. So Coach Prime is building that relationship. At the end of the day, Coach Prime is trying to make sure that his legacy is sealed when he actually put out this, when they actually put out the second interview with Joe Klatt. So in that second interview, Coach Prime, he says that he is a father, not a follower. You know, Coach Prime liked those talking points, right? He's a father, not a follower. He's about to send his kids, including Travis Hunter, he's about to send them to the NFL, and he's not following them. He wants to stay in Colorado and dominate. Coach Prime is the type of guy who loves a challenge. We all know that Coach Prime loves a challenge. And when it comes to the kind of challenge that he has at CU, where we went from 1-11, now we're 4-8, and that's what people are talking about. Now, let's imagine we take it from 4-8 to either 8-4, or we get into the 8-4 or we win a little bit more and get into that playoff. And then now we take it from there and we go into the 12. If we win the Big 12 championship, we get into that 12-man playoff system that's now about to happen. If that happens, the legacy continues. We can start talking about more football stuff as opposed to just the personal stuff that we always talk about. I'm so ready to be done with all of the personal stuff. Let me let my guys in. Let's go, guys. Give me 1 second. Let me let my guys in the onto the conversation, because there's a lot of implications. And you know I can talk all day, but I like to have guys on here that can share in the conversation with me to make sure that this thing, you know what I'm saying, we treat this thing the way that it's supposed to be treated. All right. So, Stacy Ephraim, what up with you? Hope all is well. So you guys are in the chat. Y'all let me know. What do y'all think about our chances of getting Juju? Now that we got Chauncey, hopefully the fact that we got Chauncey in the door now, hopefully is either an indication that Juju's already coming. Juju has already said some things. But listen, we've been through a few cycles already, all right? Hey, Peter Investor, what's up with you? How you doing? Good evening. All right? We've been through a few cycles of this, all right? So some of our excitements are like, I don't know. I'm a little, you know what I'm saying? We're a little nervous because, I mean, we get big recruits. It's not like Coach Prime can't get big recruits. We know that he could do it, but You get the big recruits that get to Boulder, they see all of the stringent or whatever you want to call it, the requirements to actually play for a Coach Prime team. And for some reason, it just doesn't matriculate, or it doesn't it doesn't fit them well. So I want to also talk about that. I want to talk about like retention. We talked about retention before on a couple of shows, but I want to talk about retention because I don't know. Sometimes I feel like when we talk directly to the recruits, when we talk to the young men, I feel like it resonates. All right, because they watch the show. I promise you, they watch. All right, it's either them or their family members that's watching the show, and I would like to just pour some life into them, and hopefully somebody is listening. Because we always get either a mom, a cousin, or somebody, and they'll email me. They'll be like, "Yo, I watch your show. Good job on X, Y, and Z." But so if anybody's watching from Juju's camp, we want to let y'all know that, like, don't play with us. All right, like, don't play with our emotions. Make your decision. Nobody gonna crap on whatever your decision you make. We're classy over there, or some of us, not all of us. I must admit, not all of us, but some of us are very classy with Colorado content. Okay, especially myself as a content creator, we're classy. Around here, we're classy. We don't crap on nobody. So if you're gonna make your decision, we ask you to please take your time. Don't rush it. All right, do not rush it. No matter what happened this weekend, the keys, the photos, all of those things are great, but we don't want you to rush it. We want you to take your time and make sure you get it right. Make your decision, because what we don't like is commit, decommit. Oh, I'm leaving. And it gets real messy because the light is brighter over here than anywhere else. So any news of a commit, such a big commit, such as a Juju Lewis commit, it's huge news. So we don't want you to commit and then having to decommit. That's going to be even messier. So we rather not go through it. We just say, take your time, bro. You know what I'm saying? Let your family, y'all talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. Talk about everything. We're going to help you out on this show today. All right? We'll give you scenarios on this show today. And then you can, that'll help you to make your decision better. All right, let me let my guy, Willie, on. Willie, what's up, man? Welcome to the show. Thank you for calling on. I appreciate you, brother.
Hey, brother, how you doing? Who could I crap on today, man?
Anybody you want to crap on is all good. It's all game. You know how we do here on the show.
I'm teasing. Let them know I'm teasing, man. No, we don't crap on anybody. Good to see you, Harry. Good to
see you too, man. Welcome to the show. Hey, man. So let me get your thoughts on the whole Juju weekend, the situation the whole weekend that just went down. Let me get your thoughts on that.
I'm excited about it, brother. We getting if he decommits from USC and commits to us, we're gonna get the quarterback that we've been looking for, that's going to replace Shedeur. And I think that's a good thing. And look like we're in the running for it. I know there's a couple other schools that are kind of going after him too. But you gotta look at the commitment of CU, man. They're committed to excellence, and they're going after the best players, not just the best players in the city, but the best players one of the best players in the country. They did that with Travis, we did it with the other fella, and we've got the best quarterback in the nation, I believe. So, and from what I'm also seeing, man, is the fact that they're building the trenches around the quarterback of the future. If you look at some of the guys that committed, or that's committing, Harry, they're building for the future, and I like that. And then they're not gonna all just be freshmen, but they're gonna be people in there that gonna be able to, just like they protect Shedeur this year, they're gonna be able to protect Juju also. So I'm excited about the potential of what's about to happen.
I'm excited for the potential also, because at the end of the day, man, getting a player like Juju Lewis, getting a player like that, it opens the door to a lot more recruits, guys who may come into the program that weren't thinking about coming to the program before. And it just gives us an opportunity to just play with the big boys, because you can't really be on the stage with some of the, I don't know if what you call it, if any of the the Big 12 schools are, known as blue bloods, but
Mhm.
it gives you an opportunity for you to be in the conversations with schools that are known as the blue bloods, the legacy schools, the schools that have, a winning culture, and just to be respected. So the fact that even though we have a lot of detraction against us, the fact that we continue to be in the conversation with these bigger recruits, it says a whole lot. And I wanted to know what your thoughts are on that.
Oh, it's a good thing, man. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Now, just let your imagination, Harry, run a little wild with you. Can you imagine here in the near future that CU is playing teams like Alabama, Georgia, Clemson, all of the ones that Notre Dame, the one that you call quote the blue bloods, and not just playing against them, but having the team that can compete. And
Mm-hmm.
I think that's where Prime is going. So I'm even looking forward, to that, and not 10 years from now, okay. But I'm looking at it within the next couple of years. We start winning this year. That's going to bring more players in, more of those type players, particularly I believe from the South, and I think that's going to put us like right in the running to where we're able to compete with those type of schools.
And I think that's what Coach Prime wants. I mean, in order for him to start doing the type of domination that he wants to do, you got to be able to secure some of these top recruits. And I think Coach Prime is setting himself up just for that. And so, to your in your thoughts, do you think that this speaks more to, or does this speak not more, but a little bit to the fact that he's saying that he's gonna stay at CU?
Oh, definitely, definitely. I watched the interview today, and I'm convinced, because he mentioned, you know, my sons are going to the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
They're not. I'm not following them. Okay, I brought them to this point. He didn't say it exactly like this. I brought them to this point. Now they're ready to move on. It doesn't mean I'm going to follow them, but I did my job, and so here is where I want to be at now. This is going to be, you know, part of my legacy, to build the program at CU. And other people have other things. Oh, well, I don't think he's going to stay. I think he's going, he's going to book. Well, that's just your opinion. I believe that he's building something at CU to stay, to say that, hey, I'm going to be here for a while. I'm going to build. I mean, they've given him the red carpet, the blue carpet, any kind of carpet he wants. He can color it whatever he wants, and they've opened up CU to Coach Prime. Look, I mean, how many coaches that you know of or that you heard of, man, that has what he has at their school? He couldn't get it down in the South. That ain't gonna happen. They because everything had to be centered around, oh, this is our school. He included in his brand. He's included CU and and the Prime brand, all of that, and they gave him the opportunity to do that. And look at what he's doing. How many coaches you take is actually doing that? We got good coaches, but how many of them are actually doing what he's doing at a major, predominantly white university?
And also, there's also another thing to think about. It's not the fact that there are other good coaches, but the thing is, when a coach is taking over a program like this, and they're coming from a lower tier division, they're not usually supposed to be in the conversation this early.
Sure.
And the fact that Coach Prime is in the conversation this early is a good sign for CU and where we're going, because I think at the end of the day, what we were really talking about, it wasn't that Coach Prime or CU is going to start, and this is for real in the comments. We're not talking about CU competing with UGA or Bama. We're talking about being in a conversation with recruits, because the thing about recruiting is a lot of the students want to be at a place where they can shine. They want to get playing time. I would say at the top of their list, which is probably a long list of things that they want to have when they go to a school, or why they choose a school. I think at the top of the list, the first two things should be number one, do they want me there? All right. And then am I going to get playing time when I get there? So that's got to be at the top. So Coach Prime always makes it known that, hey, if you come here, if we're seeking you, we want you to be on our team. If we go after you, it's not like we just kind of picking the top players or we just seeing anybody. No, if CU goes after you, you get that phone call. They've already done their research and they want you. So that's the first thing. CU, Coach Prime wants you, and he's looking for you to be a contributor right away. He's one of the few coaches that does not play the game of, I don't care who you are. If you come over here, you're going to sit down, you're going to wait. Coach Prime don't play those games. Coach Prime wants to actually play his players right now, and he wants to make sure that when you come into the door, if you can compete, he's going to give you the opportunity to compete. And that's why I think either the parents of Juju or whoever's listening, that's why I think y'all should think about that, because we got Ryan Stubb, we got other quarterbacks, and hopefully they understand the business of college football and they don't take anything personal that's going on, because this is what you have to do with every recruit, with every top recruit. So hopefully they don't take it personal. But to understand that, hey, if you come here, you're going to compete against a Ryan Stubb. You're going to have to compete because Ryan Stubb is going to have experience already. So you're going to have to beat out Ryan Stubb. And if you beat out Ryan Stubb, you get to play. And Coach Prime ain't going to feel any kind of way. Ryan Stubb already knows what's coming. Coach Prime's probably already had that conversation with Ryan Stubb. And yes, he said it last year that Ryan Stubb he wants to start. So now that we get in Juju, we're making all of this noise. I'll ask you, Willie, what do you think, or how do you think those other quarterbacks are thinking about the fact that we're making so much noise about having a bona fide replacement for Shedeur? It cannot feel great at all if you were a player.
I think they're very much concerned, but not concerned to the fact that the way the portal is, if they want to leave, they could always go at we have some pretty good quarterbacks back there. I mean, they're not the super studs, but I'm thinking, I would be a little bit concerned, but me knowing me, I'm going to compete. I think they're going to still compete and everything, but who knows what the kids are going to do. Stacey E was just mentioning in the shout out to Stacey E. She said, yeah, but Juju's already committed to USC. I mean, how many kids have committed to other schools and then at the last minute, decided that they want to go somewhere else? So sure, that's going to put pressure on the other quarterback. But I think we have a group of quarterbacks there now that understand that. They may not like it, but but also you got to remember they have an opportunity to play. I mean, we would hope for the best, but in college football, things happen, man. I remember one season somebody played, man, and they lost like all three quarterbacks. I mean, not that that's going to happen with us, but I'm just saying, you just in case, hey, you want to be prepared, but they just got to be ready to play, regardless of who the quarterback. Even when Juju comes in, you got to be ready to play. That's just the nature of the game, I think.
So you were once an athlete in college. So when the coach and the athletic department was bigging up other players, what was the environment like in the locker room? What was the feeling like in the locker room once y'all got wind of a new player coming in and like the school started to roll out the red carpet for them? What was it like for you guys who were already there in the locker room?
Oh, that's a good question. I played, and I was a very, my sophomore year, I was I came in as the sixth man, but I knew next year I was going to be starting. Didn't matter who they played in because of my experience and my ability to play. So when you have someone that comes in, it doesn't matter who they bring in. You look at it as that, okay, I'm just going to go and do what I know to do. Now, you bring in a super stud, he's scoring 40 points a game and stuff like that. well, somebody's gonna be sitting down, and I'm hoping it's not me.
Right.
But yeah, but you have that attitude, among players because it's a competitive. College is very much competitive, you know. So you have that kind of mental thing going on with the players. With me, where I was playing, I didn't, I knew I was gonna play either way.
So let me ask you a question. What are your thoughts? Because I want to know what other people think about this infamous photo right here. This is an epic photo. I don't know. Coach Prime always makes news, man. When they do something, they don't do it like anybody else. They always do it bigger than life. And it always somehow breaks the internet because that's what everybody ends up talking about.
Yeah.
This has become like an epic photo. This photo that we're looking at right now, this is like making its rounds on the internet, and it's making a lot of people feel some kind of way. I did put up a post and I said, hey, a picture always says 1,000 words. What are you thinking about this photo, or what was your initial thoughts when you saw this photo hit the internet?
You know what I'm getting? It's a cool photo. It's a good question, Harry, because my thing is like, okay, if that was me, I'm Juju sitting there. I'm looking at Shadur as my father. He's giving me the keys to the Mercedes, a car that he said I would never drive. I wouldn't touch it. But now all of a sudden he brings the keys to me, say, here, son, here's the keys. I mean, you can drive it now if you want to. I'm not going to give it to you right now, but you now have the option to drive, my pride and joy. I think it says a lot. It says a lot to, those of us that are watching it, bro. That is like, I mean, they pulled all the stops out when they did that. And see you got Juju with his hands out. He's accepting it, and it's, a picture paints 1,000 words. That's a song too, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
A picture, I mean, that's like, man, it says a lot.
I got scared. I got scared when I saw that, and my brain went to a scare play. I was like, "Oh boy, they're about to start some trouble right there." Not like scared, but I was just like, "Oh man," because the media implications. It's like Prime knows how to agitate.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's like they know how to agitate the daggone media, and they know what people are going to say. First of all, you're giving the keys to the house to this guy because you are about to leave, right? Yeah. And then he's already committed to USC, and he's got his hands out accepting the keys. And you're like, what does Riley say about this guy who's already in your commitment house? What does it say about him? You accepting the keys to somebody else's house, and you already took my keys. So let me hear from the chat also. Stacy, Hosea, Peter Investor, Octavius Lee. What's up with you guys? Hope you guys are having a great evening, guys. Real, what's up? What thoughts did you guys get when y'all saw this photo from the chat? So, chat, I want y'all to get involved as well. Y'all let me know in the chat, like, what did y'all think about this photo? Because I thought this photo right here it was either going to scare you as a CU fan, especially if you go deep into this stuff, right? Because we are so close. We watch every video, the well-off videos. We watch every other creator's video. I mean, we're so close to everything, and we get the news by the minute. Because if it happens anywhere, it's either going to be myself or somebody's going to break the news. So when you see something like this, and you already know about detraction and how everything is talked about and scrutinized with Coach Prime, man, it had to send some kind of weird message to you, like, oh man, what are the detractors going to say now? This is crazy.
Harry, a lot of them aren't saying anything. I haven't read anything where the detractors said anything. They're probably sitting there watching this photo. I'm gonna tell you about the detractors. They're sitting there watching this photo, and their mouths are like wide open. How could they do this? It's like, hey, I mean, and like you said, it's all part of the show. Let's get this. Let's understand this. This is all part of the show. I'm enjoying this piece of it here. I'm enjoying this show. Oh yeah.
And you know what's crazy too, which is not necessarily crazy, but he's had official visits to Auburn. He's had official visits to other places, but his visits did not make the news, right? This official final visit that he just made to Colorado, I'm talking about, I don't know if it was ESPN or this thing was actually like being tracked on ESPN. It was being tracked on the national football, the national college football platforms, and people got a hold of it, and they started. There was a lot of communication that was happening actually online, and a lot of the fan bases were actually starting to chime in, and there was a lot going on. So the fact that Colorado is still at the forefront of the media conversation, it says a lot. And then when it comes to actually having recruits who are still thinking about whether Colorado is a legit place to come and play, I would say, okay, if we are still not in that conversation, let's just wait until the season starts. When I know what we're gonna do this season, let's just wait and see. But I think at this point, Colorado has to be respected in that football conversations. Your thoughts on that?
Hey, Harry, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
With that statement, let me ask you a question. What do you think if you was a USC fan? What would you think about that? How would you feel?
Well, first of all,
USC hat.
Okay, so let me flip it a little bit. So let's say we're USC, or he's already committed to us, but he's making a lot of visits, right? And then all of a sudden he's being, remember, what was the guy name? What was the running back that guy took him by? Was it Ole Miss, or was it Lane Kiffin that took him?
I think I'm not sure. I'm not
but
sure.
But anyway, so okay, you have a commit, and the commit is being courted by other people, because obviously he's 2025. So they have a certain room. It was Amos. Thank you, Stacy. Amos was then, he was taken by another coach. So it happens. This is a natural thing that happens in college football, but it doesn't feel good. I ain't gonna hold you, right? Like, it doesn't feel good when you are the team that has the player, but then On3 or another recruiting service starts to say, well, this guy is being crystal balled to another school. And then like somebody like Ole Miss with Amos, you're like, wait, we already got this guy. Then how is it that we're now on the other side where he's about to be taken from us by Ole Miss? It's not a good feeling at all. And I ain't gonna hold you, like, the whole if you are USC and you are in that fan base, I know how you feel. and we also have to think about Cormani, because remember, we snatched Cormani as well from Miami. So, and then people got it snatched from us too. So it's a feeling that you're gonna have to get used to if you're a new fan of college football because of Prime, you got to get used to that feeling. And I don't know that you can catch feelings. Like, you can do the regular football talk. You can go through and just voice your opinion and just trash talk, but you can't take it personal. That's just how I feel about it. Because at the end of the day, everybody does it. Everybody's gonna take somebody's player is gonna get taken by it's either gonna be an NIL situation, or it's just gonna be like, look,
yeah,
Coach Prime and his team are either gonna promise you something, or they're gonna sweet talk you. And we know that Coach Prime is the best sweet talker in the business. He can get anybody in the building. Like, Coach Prime knows how to recruit. He's one of the best recruiters in the game of college football, because he has no business with his record, all right, and how much people talk about him. For him to be in the conversation always, Jordan Seaton, Travis Hunter, Cormani McLean, Juju Lewis, he should not be in the conversation, period.
Yeah.
But you tell me, how is it that he's always in the conversation? Can anybody make that make sense for me? Not at all. Not at all. Somebody make it make sense to me. Let me see what you're saying in the comments. So Real says, CU ain't respected at all. Football fans, let's put this up. Real says, CU ain't respected at all. Football fans look at 4-8 and how bad in August. What does it say? Or predictable.
Yeah.
Oh, predictable. I think he's trying to say predictable. CU played. Being in the news don't mean much. Michigan, UGA, Bama with chips. They don't make breaking news. They win. So, I mean, I wouldn't say CU is not respected at all. That's not a good statement to make because CU is obviously respected. All right, CU is definitely respected, but there's certain type of respects that we want. We want to be able to be in the conversations with the blue bloods. We want to be in the conversations with the college football teams that talk about just football. We got respect from the business world. We got respect from college football because we are on everybody's show and we're on everybody's mind. Everybody talks about us. So that is the respect. We get that respect. Now, from a fan standpoint, I think a lot of people talk about respect from the standpoint of the fan base, that the new fan base that comes from Coach Prime from Jackson State coming over here. I think because the way that we act sometimes, I think people just, because everything is breaking news for us and we hype everything, I think that's where some of the conversation comes from when people say CU's not respected. But it's not true that CU's not respected. It's obvious that if CU was not respected, there's no way we get on all of these shows. There's no way Coach Prime gets all these interviews. There's no way. You see what I'm saying? So obviously there is respect there. It's just from a fan base, from a fan's perspective, I feel like some of the fans, they don't like the fact that we gloat so much. Willie, what do you think about that?
You know what? While you were talking, Harry, man, I was thinking about there's another word that came up, and I've been thinking about it for the last few days. It's called relevance. And I've heard other people say it. CU now is relevant. Anytime you talk about CU, it's not so much, some people will bring up, well, the 4-8 last year. Okay. Relevancy. And they bring out what they're doing with their portable. It's relevant. The players that they're bringing in now is relevant. Hey, you can keep your respect, but I'm relevant. Why is it so relevant? Because you're talking about me. Regardless if I'm good or bad, if Prime does something, or people say Prime does something crazy, okay, it's relevant. And that's more important than anything because now people are talking about you. Harry, you can have the best show in the world, or you can have the worst show in the world. They're still bringing up Harry B. So I think the key word there would be more relevant. CU is more relevant than they have been in the past.
That's actually a good thing that you just said that because Real is asking respected for what exactly, Harry? First of all, number one, what Willie just talked about, we're making college football relevant again. You got to understand that. You got to understand that Colorado is keeping college football relevant in the dead period. When did people talk about college football outside of the season? Right? I'm talking about, when I say people, I'm not talking about the purist. I'm talking about regular folk who don't pay nothing, who don't pay no attention to college football. The purists are going to talk about college football year round, but I'm talking about the layman, the person that don't pay attention to college football. Coach Prime is respected for bringing the game to the consciousness of the non-purist football fans and keeping it relevant year round. So that's respect. Coach Prime gets a lot of respect for that. I think Real, you may be thinking about what your thoughts are for CU, not necessarily what the rest of college football landscape thinks about. Because I think this is the mistake that a lot of people make. Because of the way that they think of something, they think that that's how everybody is thinking. But that is not the truth. The truth is Colorado has a lot of respect for infusing a lot of energy into college football. And then also taking a dead team from 1-11 to making it 4 games. You don't respect 4 games, but 4 games is a good thing for a college football team that was dead in the waters where nobody wanted to come to because it was a losing spirit in that building. And for years, they were actually call recruits, and they will not get no calls back. So Colorado gets a lot of respect from the media. All right, just so you understand, because I read a lot of my videos are based on media reporting. All right. If you don't watch my videos, just watch my videos. A lot of the coverage that I do is always based on somebody who wrote something about the media. So the media definitely respects Colorado from taking a dead team from 1-11 to 4-8. You may look at 4-8 and you think it's nothing, and maybe your expectations was a lot higher than that, and Coach Prime's expectation was higher than that, but it's okay. It does not mean that Colorado's not respected. So don't think because either your little group, because your little fan base or whatever things that you're in, or you hear some people talking greasy, don't think that is the mindset of the general population, because Colorado would not be this relevant and not getting this much attention if it was not respected. That is for y'all. Bada boom, bada bang.
Yeah. Also, Harry, when you were talking, I was thinking about a video I saw just today about, okay, so it's not just about football. It's about the education of the kids and everything. And I think it was Jimmy Horn and I think another one of the receivers. They were on their way to class, and they were taking. I think they were talking about they were taking this sign language class.
Okay.
And Jimmy was showing them, I think the media guy was asking, well, what if I want to say this, how would I do it? And Jimmy was just rattling them off just like that. So that in itself also makes them relevant to education in a sense, or relevant to the success of the student. And okay, they want to play. Yeah, they want to play football, but these guys are more than just football players. And man, that's what's coming across to me. Like they're also a part of the interview, they were talking about how that Prime wants to set everybody up as those that want to do it with the podcast. That makes what the program there, and it goes back to what I was thinking about when the word I was thinking about was when you talk about, training kids and everything. And so all of that stuff is part of the program, which makes CU not only it's not just about football. There's an educational portion there too. And I was kind of impressed with that, I was pretty much impressed with that.
So Peter Investor said relevance means your significance and presence. So yeah, I mean, wow. You got to get respect. There's a lot of respect for that. You get a lot of respect for the fact that you are present, the fact that you are infusing this type of energy. That's people give it respect. A lot of people talk about the winning and losing, but remember, you got to keep in mind when you take a team from 1-11, you win 4 games. Now they're expecting you to how you're going to do on your second year. But I think some people have this false expectation that they don't really give Colorado and Coach Prime any respect or any chance at all. It doesn't make sense, because if you go back and you look at the videos that I made about other coaches, all right, and I'm about to drop another ranking for the Big 12 coaches. When you look back at some of the biggest coaches, the rock star coaches, this is how they started as well, or even worse. So I don't understand why is it that it's a different barometer or it's a different measuring stick when it comes to Coach Prime, because a lot of teams actually, they don't do that well. A lot of coaches don't do that well in their first year. So first years, you got to look at first years, and you got to put some respect on this guy's name. He took a team that was dead in the waters. The implications of being the dead in the water is that you don't get recruits. Nobody wants to come to your school because you're 1-11 and you're going to stink up the place again. And they want to actually they want to be on a team that's going to win because they want their chance to go to the NFL. So the top recruits are not coming to your schools because they want to be relevant. And there's no more place that's more relevant in college football than Colorado. So that's the respect that Colorado has. So think about that. Anyways, let's move the conversation down to who we actually got in-house. Breaking news, we got the 4-star inside offensive lineman, Chara Gooden, has committed to Colorado. He tells me for the on-3 recruits. These are his stats. Let's go ahead and get that on tape. I'm sure most of you have heard this already, but you know what I'm saying, we got to get this on tape for our show. The 6 foot 330. Wait a minute. Say that again, Eric B. He's 6 foot 330 pounds. Wait, is that all? That has to be McDonald's. Wait, That 330 has to be McDonald's. That's not working out weight.
That's a lot of that's a lot of burgers, man. It's a lot of burgers.
That's a lot of burgers, bro. The 6'4", 330-pound inside offensive lineman from Nashville, Tennessee, chose the Buffaloes over Clemson, Auburn, and Missouri. Let's show more. Wow. Man, that is... And Missouri, why not Colorado if you say you a dog? Woo-wee. Is that up the skull?
I'm liking that. Yeah.
Yo, look, hold on. Wait a minute, though. Wait a minute. This is a freshman? This kid is eating somebody's food at his mom and dad food at 330 pounds. Look, okay, so my son is what? He's about to be 18. So he's about to be 17, right? And the bed that we bought for him is too big because he's getting taller. He's getting much bigger, right? I'm trying. No, Willie. I'm trying to put this in perspective. I'm trying to put this in perspective here. This kid, he's 6'4" and he weighs 330 pounds. Bro, there would be no food left in the fridge. Like, we would have to cook. We cook for 4 people, right? We would have to cook for 6 people for this kid to be able to eat. There's no way. He's 6'4", 330 pounds already, and that is not all muscle.
Boy can eat.
That boy can eat.
The boy can eat. Okay, let's get that settled.
Let's get that out the way. Let's get that straight. Okay, stop playing with me. OMG. All right, so 86. These are his grades. 89.62. He's a 4-star. Okay. Nationally, he's 317th. Inside lineman, he's number 20. He's the 24th player in Tennessee. He's ranked as the 9th player. Let me bring this closer so you can see. Wow, this is a big boy. This
now,
boy.
When did he just signed yesterday, right?
Today, I believe.
He signed today. Okay.
He signed today. He just signed today. All right, so these are the stats. Nationally, he's ranked as the 317th player.
Okay.
This is on the on 3. So this is not a consensus. I'm just saying this is on 3. That's all we're looking at right now. So just in case anybody has any more numbers. All right. According to on 3, he is as an inside lineman, he's ranked 24th, and then in the state of Tennessee or in this Tennessee's a state. That's the state, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right. My geography is a little bit off, so forgive me, guys.
You're good.
All right, I'm good. All right, so in the state of Tennessee, he's 9th. He's ranked 9th in the state of Tennessee.
See, all right. Yeah, see, these are the type of people we're gonna need. If we're gonna compete, these are the type of boys we need to bring in. Once again, remember I was talking earlier about, hey, the trenches. We need people to fill those holes that, and the offense or defense, I'm trying to read here. What is it? Offense or defense?
Let's see, what you say? He's an inside offensive lineman.
Offensive lineman. That's what we need, brother. We need somebody that's gonna open up those holes, and this right here. We get a couple of these guys in. This is gonna make you see in the near future very, very competitive.
Hey, Michael P. Why'd you have some Michael P? Man, who raised you, man? Stop calling people dummies, man. Have some decorum, man. When you're in a public forum, stop calling people grown men dummies. He is signed. We got the information that he was signed today. And then what it said right here? Hold up. He committed. Well, he committed. He didn't sign the papers yet, but he committed today. So okay, you're right. He didn't sign. He committed. But come on, man. Have some respect for grown people, nice. Man. I'm sick of these people who just go into a public forum and call a grown man dummies. Like, bro, you don't know me from Jack Street. You don't know where I'm from. You don't even know. Well, maybe you might know I'm from Liberia, but stop playing with me. Man, have some respect for yourself and your people that raised you, man. Golly. He said, my bad. All right, Michael, come on. We good, man. We good. Yeah, man, come on, Michael. We growing over here. Golly. So he committed. He didn't sign. You're right. I got to retract that. We got to be, All right, so what did he say? I think there was something he said over here. I think he said, can we go back to this? Let's see.
Yeah.
All right. So Tony Casolo, he says, Buff snagged a 4-star inside lineman. And Tony Casolo is actually the writer. I use a lot of his writer. He's at the Buffalo's Wire at that usatoday.com. So if he said we snatched him, then we did kind of snatch him. That means he's committed to CU. He didn't sign yet. So he signs on National Signing Day or whatever. He did commit. So I think that's what we have to say. Yeah, so we got to say that he committed, not signed. He didn't sign yet. He committed. But he can decommit as well. So hey, and for my guys that want to join the show, I already sent out those emails, so just check your emails. I don't know if my email is delaying. Hey, Willie, you got the email without any issues, right?
Yeah, I got it without any issues, man. Yeah.
Okay.
No problem.
All right, cool. Just trying to make sure, because I did send out the email to a couple of guys. So I don't know if they're having an issue opening up the email or not, but there's a couple of guys I wanted to get the email to.
So Harry, let me ask you a question.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
not necessarily, really big on freshmen coming in, and that's just me.
Okay.
Just start right away. But a fella like this big, and we need. What do you think his chances are? And we've never seen him play. Okay, let's admit that I've never seen him play. I have no idea. But if we go back and watch some video of it, so what do you think his chances are probably maybe starting on that old line? If not his freshman year, maybe his sophomore year. But he gets some playing time as a freshman.
So this is how I look at it. Anytime a freshman starts for you, you know that you got one. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Because
okay.
we don't bank on freshmen starting for us.
Exactly.
It's just like Jordan Seaton. Like if Jordan Seaton doesn't start, I'm totally fine with Jordan Seaton not starting. You feel me?
Yeah.
I'm cool with that. If he doesn't start, that's fine. Then what that means is that we got somebody who was better for the moment. It doesn't mean that he doesn't get to play, but that means that we got somebody better. But anytime a freshman comes in and he's ready to go, just like a Travis Hunter or a Shador, I believe they started at Jackson State, right? When they went to Jackson State, they started, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, so anytime a freshman starts for you, you got one. The Awakening, what's up with you? How you doing? Hope all is well. DC Carson Music, what's up with you? Hope all is well. So yeah, man. So yeah, that's how I feel. I feel like anytime a freshman gets to start for you, man, that's just how that just means that you got a good one. That's how I feel.
Yeah, because this cat, man, I'm looking at his size and not that, size is everything, puns, I guess, whatever. But it's like, look like he can kind of move in and that just, me being a little, wow, this dude that maybe he can come in as a freshman and contribute, and really play, So I don't,
So, but look,
it's open.
But let's think about this though. Colorado is in the Big 12, and the Big 12 is wide open, right? Yeah. The Big 12, as we've been looking at the different teams in the Big 12, the Big 12 is wide open. So Colorado starts to get linemen like the protection that what was the guy named from Oregon? The protection that Dan Lanning quarterback. What's his name, man? He went to the NFL now. Dag it. Anyways, I can't remember his name. I'll think about his name in a second. But the protection that he had in Oregon, where he only got sacked 6 times. You see what I'm saying? Like if you think about it, he only got sacked like 6 times. 6 times? Bo Nix, thank you, The Awakening. Thank you so much. Bo Nix got sacked 6 times.
Yeah.
Can you imagine, like, in a scenario that where Shador only gets sacked 6 times? Then that means that his targets, he's able to hit his targets. Can you? The dude got 30-something hundred yards, getting sacked 50-something times, 56 times. Imagine a scenario where he gets sacked only 6 times. It's
I'm imagining that. Now, let's see. Here we go. I'm
I just can't put
imagining
words
that.
to it because now we think about the accuracy of Shador, right? You put the accuracy of Shador in perspective, and you think about the what how dangerous he is with the ball in his hands.
Yes. Yeah.
And 56 times he was not able to hit his target because he was on his back. Pause.
Mm-hmm.
But now we think about that, we take that away, and we start giving him all linemen like this guy over here, right? In a conference like the Big 12 that's wide open, and we start giving him like we only got he's not gonna be able to play with him, right? But like imagine he has somebody like this. It's a wrap. Like
sometimes, Harry, sometimes just put him in the hole and just say, just stand it. Don't let nobody through. Make his assignment like really simple. Okay, your job is don't let nobody through. Just stand there if you have to.
Right.
I mean, 6'4", 300-some pounds. Oh yeah, I could do that,
bruh. But think about it. Now we're getting Juju. We get. Let's just say let's just have a little bit of fun with it. All right. Let's say we already got Juju Lewis. We got Ryan Stubb. They're going to battle it out. We got one of the Wade brothers who's also a quarterback. They're going to battle it out. Whoever wins, right? But let's say we have a decent quarterback and one of the best O-lines in the Big 12. Coach Prime will be unstoppable.
Yeah.
I don't know how people look at it, but I think the reason why people are so hard on Coach Prime, the reason why they want to stop him is because recruiting is so crucial. All right? Recruiting is so crucial because if you let somebody like Coach Prime loose and you say, go do whatever you want to do, we're not going to impede you, that means he's able to secure the recruits that he needs. And when that happens, how are you going to stop a guy like Coach Prime, who's already getting his man? He's getting a little bit of he's getting some of the 5 stars and 4 stars, right? And because this guy's a 4-star, he's getting the 4 stars and the 5 stars already with the detraction. Imagine without the detraction and people actually saying, well, yeah, let Coach Prime do what he's doing. I like him for college football. Imagine those anonymous coaches changing their language and people actually speaking positively, for Coach Prime.
So Harry, tell me this. Help me out with this, and maybe somebody in the chat can help us a little bit with this. If you got a good line, okay, you got a good line that's able to protect Shador, and you get a quarterback that's not as good as Shador, can CU be successful? Because you got to remember, literally, all you got to do is it's not just simple as that. Hand the ball off and make accurate passes, which is a task in itself. I mean, can CU be effective? If you take Shador out of the picture, put Suggs back there, can we be successful with the line that we have? Because you got to remember
with that. I can definitely help you with that.
Yeah, if the quarterback don't get time to throw, ain't nothing gonna happen.
So hey, Dupree, Hondo, I'll come to you in a second. Everybody gets negatively recruited against. It ain't nothing close to the type of heat that Coach Prime gets. Let me just tell you right now. Okay. I understand how everybody gets negative recruiting. I understand that. That's part of that's a natural part of competing. I get that. That's part of it. But this ain't what we're talking about here. We're talking about something on a whole nother level when it comes to Coach Prime. People are not writing hit pieces, all right, on other schools. Like, I don't see it happening. If it happened before, it ain't happening now, and I haven't seen it. But anyway, what was you saying? So Willie, what you were saying is this, right? What you're saying is how the Big 12 is stacked up. The Big 12 is stacked up to where there ain't no superstar quarterback besides maybe 1 or 2 schools that have good quarterbacks. Well, I would say just star quarterbacks, not superstar, right? I would say Shador's the only superstar quarterback in the Big 12. Mm-hmm. But think about the fact that everybody kind of is they play like blue collar. They're not blue bloods, but they play blue collar football, where It's about coaching. It's about team. It's about just beating you down until they can score 2 or 3 points on you to just win the game. That's how the Big 12 is set up. So at the end of the day, quarterback play is not the most important thing, right? With a conference like, I would say overall, I think your trenches, both on the offensive side and the defensive side, it probably holds a lot more weight than the quarterback, because all you would then need is a decent quarterback who doesn't buff fumble all the time. But if you just have a decent quarterback, but you have a killer of a line and they can stop anything, I would take that over a superstar quarterback. I don't have to have a Caleb Williams or a Bo Nix or a Shador. I don't have to have that if I got good trenches and I got some really good wide receivers and some key DBs. I can take that.
Mm-hmm. Okay, now I might be answering my own question here, but take Nebraska's quarterback last year. Mm-hmm. He was a good quarterback. He could throw the ball, but he fumbled a bunch of times. I mean, in that case, the quarterback really took him out of any type of threat that they may have, because he fumbled about, I think, for the whole season, maybe over 30 some times or something like that.
Uh-huh.
So barring the fumbles, can you take a quarterback that's, like Saab, that's pretty accurate most of the time, give him the time to throw the ball? Can he be effective to causing CU to get some wins? And I'm just throwing that out there because,
Oh, yeah. No, you're right. Heck yeah. I mean, look, listen, man. Ryan Staub is not a bad quarterback. Think about that. Ryan Staub is a really decent quarterback. You just need, in football, you need a decent quarterback. Now, it helps when you have a superstar.
Sure.
Like, if you have a superstar, it helps you in many ways than it hurts you. But you don't need superstar quarterbacks. You just need a really good quarterback that's going to be able to do just the regular things that quarterbacks are supposed to do. The superstars are kind of like the icing on the cake. You feel me? So they actually take you, they can create their own lanes by themselves. But what is a quarterback supposed to do? Throw the ball, hand the ball off, right? If a quarterback can effectively do that, and then every now and then run or make their own decisions and come up with ways to win the game, then that's when you have your Patrick Mahomes. That's when you have your Michael Vicks. That's when you have your game breaker quarterbacks. But is that necessary to win? No, you don't have to have those game breaker quarterbacks, because not every team in football have game breaker quarterbacks. You just want to make sure you have a decent quarterback and then surround them with quality linemen that can actually, affect the game. So, I mean, before this whole Coach Prime blow up situation, before all of that, I really didn't think about linemen that much. You see what I'm saying? I never really thought about linemen until Colorado got exposed the second half of the season. And then it was like, and then that's when I started saying that Coach Prime made what's the name sexy again, linemen sexy again. But hold that thought. Let me address this East Clown Calf situation. What is going on here? Is this East Coast Calf? Yo, you became a 100% troll. What is going on, bro? Don't do it, bro. It didn't happen to you, did it? What is going on in the chat? Oh man, East Clown Calf. I don't know what happened. Maybe it happened on another show where something happened. I can't, yo. Anyway. What?
So he's is DC Carson starting stuff, man?
No. East Clown Calf. There's somebody in the chat called East Clown Calf. So I don't know if they're if they are trolling East Coast Calf because they got some type of beef, so they call themselves East Clown Calf.
So why would they want to come on our channel and start a beef?
Well, they ain't starting no beef. They just, I don't know what they're doing. They just
seem like they're trying to get something going on here, So
listen. I'm sure they have beef somewhere else. Turkey neck calf should be at the gym, bro. I don't
Okay.
know who is doing this. I don't know who that is, but anyway. Anyway, okay, so we got everything on Chauncey Gooden. Everybody's good on Chauncey Gooden, right? He's a 4-star. He did commit to Colorado after the weekend. So we offered that. Colorado is now waiting for Juju Lewis to make his decision. Keep in mind that he's 2025. So his decision may not even come.
Yeah.
His decision may not even come till he sees us win a couple of games, which is fair. I mean, if you because I did introduce that early on in the show. Let's give the positives and the negatives for playing with CU, and let's help Juju make his decision. The reason why I'm saying this and I want to do this is because I want Juju, when he makes that decision, to be a grown-up decision. Because what I don't want to happen, all right, what I don't want to happen is that Juju makes the decision to come and play for CU, and then at the end of the day, he decommits or he signs on National Signing Day, and then he changes his mind and leaves. Right? So let's do a little thing where it's not a real segment, but let's just help him out. What are some of the things that I'll go? Let me ask you first. What are some of the things that you think that he needs to be prepared to play for Prime? Give me some things that you think he needs to be prepared for.
Let's see, man. Look, just come to Boulder, brother, and have some fun. Um, uh, that's all. I mean, that's all. Let's say I don't know that much about CU since I'm in San Diego, but I'm thinking that, hey, let's go to CU, man. Look, you got the best coaches in the world. You've got over what 127.
We'll go to that, but answer this question. What are some of the things? Let's do this. Let's do it this way. What are some of the things you think he needs to be prepared for coming to CU? Because obviously, kids come here and they learn the hard way when they come in and they face certain things. What are some of those things that? Let's just put some of those things out so that we can say, okay, man, look out for these things because we don't want you to decommit. We'll talk about the positive in a second, though.
So you're thinking, what do you? Okay, the only thing I could think about that's above average at CU is media coverage of all of the practices and of the events, the personal live events that the kids get involved with for his media coverage and everything. That could probably, but that wouldn't be a detraction to him because he's used to it now. So I mean, I'm trying to think, that would be the only thing I would say.
So
is that a positive or negative?
So let me throw some of these out, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you come to CU, like you gotta, there's a yes sir, yes ma'am over here. When you come to CU, it doesn't matter that you are the hottest recruit in the land. You got to understand that this, like the attention that you're getting, is not an attention that makes you a superstar over anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're literally walking into a superstar room, a room full of superstars, and the number one superstar there is Coach Prime. So jealousy, put that away. Wanting to have some type of special treatment, put that away. Wanting to have some type of like your NIL deals are gonna come. So you don't gotta worry about doing NIL deals because your name is already being built up to get some of the biggest bags that there is. So you're gonna get your bag. So that ain't nothing you gotta worry about. But the one thing that I want to let these recruits know, especially Juju, when you have one of the biggest names coming into a program, sometimes, and let me just use Cormani for an example. Sometimes these kids feel a certain way when they get there, and then some of the other players feel some kind of way. Not necessarily feel some kind of way, but they don't give you that treatment like you are expecting, and then they start feeling some kind of way, and they think like, oh no, my dude, I'm bigger than you, and you know that talk that kids have because they have the bigger name. I just want to make sure that we don't get that type of energy coming into CU. So if you're coming here, if you are a Juju or a Chauncey, and you are the man in your state or in the media, set that aside when you come to CU. Just set it aside and come and play football and let everything else handle itself. That's the message that I have to send out there for any of these players that are going to come to CU. And if you are one of the biggest names, just understand that your name is going to ring regardless. Your name is going to ring regardless.
Yeah, from the interviews I've heard of his father seems to be the stabilizing thing in his life. So we may not even have that issue with Juju. But the stabilizing factor in his life has been his father. And I think his father's kind of kept him on an even keel. Sure, the NIL money is going to come, but I think because his father one time was talking about, I think when he was playing ball in junior high school, and how he kind of, kept tabs on him a little bit. I don't think we would have to worry about that. And this is just my opinion. Worry about that maybe from.
But there's other kids that have fathers that are in their lives, and they, and like you got a lot of players that it's not just mothers in their lives, but the message that I'm trying to send is to make sure whether your father's in your life or it's just your mom or whoever it is, just take your time and make your decision.
But we didn't. Why? And I'm not saying we should have, but we didn't take that kind of interest in Camardi because we figured that Prime would be that example. Remember?
Well, I think the story for Cormani was the fact that everybody wanted to jump on the fact that he only had his mom representing him. We don't know what the situation was behind the scenes.
Right.
All we knew was that his mom was making a lot of the decisions. So a lot of people wanted to harp on the fact that it was just just his mom and not having a father figure in the, in the picture that we saw, right? So a lot of our conversations was just about the fact that it was just his mom. So I think a lot of people's talking points was, the fact that he has his mom, he needs a man in his life to help him make those decisions. But we don't know what that lady was doing. We don't know how much, she was helping them. So that's why I don't like to have those type of conversations, because it's like you don't really know. Because I have sisters that are single parents and they're doing a heck of a job, and I love them, and I appreciate what they're doing in their kids' lives. So a single mother doesn't always tell you the story about why a kid may be acting the way that they're acting. That's all I'm saying. Right. So let's bring on Wild Dog. He wants to join the show. Hey, Wild Dog, thank you for joining the show. I appreciate you. Thanks for coming on. You got to unmute, Wild Dog.
Woo, woo. Hey, blessings, brother. Appreciate you for having me on. Just coming to support. I know Willie was holding you down, but got myself together and just hopped on.
It was a painful journey.
Hey, this is not bad vibes. Hey, son of Yahweh, I'm gonna let you know these are not bad vibes. When we want to get recruits in the house that understand what they're stepping into. It has nothing to do with bad vibes. It's about being real, because we've seen this show before. We've seen this movie before. All right. So I'm just trying to make sure that when you step into that door, just understand what you're coming into. You're coming into a strict environment, that's going to give you a lot of they're trying to make men out of these boys. You know what I'm saying? When you're coming from high school, you're stepping into college, you're a boy. And then by the time that you leave, especially when you're playing for a Coach Prime, you're going to be a man, because Coach Prime is dealing with outside stuff as well as the inside stuff. So it's more than football. So it's better that we have these conversations early so that we don't get these guys just coming in, it's about the NIL or whatever. That's not bad vibes. All right? That's being a man, okay? We want good recruits to come to see you. We're not trying to just get anybody. Come to see you because you want to come to see you. Take your time, make a good decision, because we are tired. We are actually tired of getting recruits that decommit or they want to go to somewhere else because they didn't really understand what they were stepping into. We've had that so many times. I've made so many videos, exciting players and stuff like that, and then to find out that they didn't want to be at CU. You know what I'm saying? But Wild Dog, what's up, man? What are your thoughts on this Juju situation?
Man, I don't know. I'm just hearing too much one way or the other way, and there's like no consensus really. So I'm just like, again, I just hope the man has a good team around him, and that's what I've been fishing for, is who's in his circle, who he might be getting advice from, so he can make it the best decision for him and his family, wherever he may land.
Exactly. That's why I'm like, yo, let's make sure that you understand, the decision that you're making. There's a lot of implications, because CU has a bright light over here, and when you come over here, there's a lot of good things that you're getting over here, especially if you know the game and you know the business side of football, right? Sure. There's a game, sure. And then there's the other game that's being played for you to understand that coming over here, you're going to get business and you're going to get football, because Colorado went from 1-11 to 4-8. So that means that we are progressing upwardly. You know what I'm saying? In business, this is called an upward trend, right? So if you're going from 1-11 to 4-8 now, next year, if you double that, that's 8-4. And next year, we start getting conversation. We start getting into the conversation of a good team that a lot of players will want to play for. So
Harry, what you're ringing, you're ringing my progress bell. And so, like, if you were going to be a transfer player to slide in to, use the exposure and all that, that was your opportunity last year, So as we're making progress and Coach Brown is able to solidify things, if you're not a fit, you're not going to get an invite. There's going to be great players. We're going to be like, why doesn't he get them, or why didn't he talk to them? There's going to be great players who are simply not going to be a fit in the Colorado program. And you're going to see more of that moving forward, just like any other program. Why doesn't Alabama go for this guy or that guy? Why does this guy end up at Ohio State rather than Michigan, or back and forth? Because you go to visit to see if you're a fit. And right. Then the program is examining you to see if you're going to be a fit with the program. If both sides have to be in agreement, that it's a fit. And if you're not a fit, God bless you. But I don't care how many stars or what you've done or what you're capable of doing. Good luck to you. But you can come here at CU and be a viper in the locker room. You could go somewhere else and be celebrated. But that is what it is. And that's just the reality of team sports.
And that is the reality of college football, and that's just how it is. And you gotta understand both sides of the coin. And to you, son of Yahweh, I want you to understand that this is a unique channel. I'm one of the only guys that's prayed for Coach Prime. So you're saying you're the only content creator saying stuff like that. I want you to also know that I'm one of the only content creator that's actually had a live prayer for Coach Prime. So you can't come here expecting me to be like every other content creator. I'm not like everybody else. I'm unique. And I try to make sure that when you come here, you get authentic stuff. So I'm going to speak real stuff over here. And it's nothing that I'm saying that's negative to say, hey man, when you're coming over here, make sure that you understand what prime standards are when you come over here. There's nothing wrong with saying there's a standard over here. If you don't like that kind of stuff, then I don't even know why you even listen to me. Like, that's kind of weird for you to say. Don't say, understand the standards that are here at Colorado. You think that's negative to let a player know that, hey, there are standards over here. When you come over here, expect certain things. And when you make your decision, make sure that you're making the right decision, because over here, there is a standard. They're going to expect you to say, yes, man, yes, sir. They're going to expect you to go to class. You got to have the grades, because CU doesn't, you know what I'm saying? So I don't understand why you think that that's negative to say. That's weird to me for somebody to say, hey, don't say that. That's negative.
No, there is a standard. There's definitely a standard. You got to, and any kid that comes through got to understand that. He can't go to his house, his own home, without there being a standard of some sort.
Exactly.
Your daddy, you come in at a certain time, and so there is a standard, and that's anywhere you go in life.
And I've had parents, I've had uncles, I've had people actually email me, right? I have email where people are thanking me for some of the things that I do. So that's why I want to make sure. I want to make sure that when a player signs with Colorado, forget about the hype, forget about all the extra stuff. All right. When you sign with Colorado, just understand that you're coming to a place where I think the pluses are a lot more than the negatives, because you're coming into a place where you're not just going to get football, because a lot of teams have coaches that their dream was just to be a coach. But when you come to CU, you're getting somebody like Prime who delves into, like, I think they talked about that on that interview. So you're coming to Colorado and there's already a bright light over here, but you're also getting a businessman in Coach Prime. You're getting somebody who created a whole persona, created a whole Coach Prime persona, because he understood the business side. When he was younger, he understood that. He did his research and he realized that, all right, so the DBs during this time are not getting paid that much. So I understand that I got to get my money some other way. I got to get my money with my personality. I got to get it with my bravado. Understanding that at a young age, and then creating this whole Prime thing, and then going out there and being the most paid DB, being a millionaire when DBs weren't getting millions. You're stepping into a situation like that. Not just the guy that has a gold jacket that played the game at the highest level. You're also getting a guy who understands today's NIL football community or football scenario. So that's what I mean. Like, when you're coming here, understand what you're stepping into, so that when you get here, you're not surprised. Because when kids leave, what do they say when they leave? Oh, the cameras. They start talking about the camera as if they weren't mindful that the cameras were there. You know what I'm saying? We had one in who was that? Tank? What's the guy name? Why am I so forgetful right now? One of the players that left was talking about the fact that there was cameras and you got to be careful because the cameras are always running. So,
was that
Gould? Huh?
Was that the backup quarterback or something?
Not the backup quarterback. I'm talking about was it lineman? Bishop Thomas.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bishop Thomas was talking about how the cameras are there and they're always recording. So that's what I'm saying. Like, at the end of the day, man, I want the young people, when you come here, it's crazy to not know the cameras are there. It's crazy to not know that Coach Prime has very high standards that he's going to hold you to. So know those things before you make your commitment. Have that conversation with your parents. Sit down, talk about that at the dinner table, at the dining room table, talking with your uncles, talking with your coaches. Get everything out. Talk about everything. The implications. What does this mean? What does that mean? How are the fans? Talk about everything, so that when you make that decision, you are 100% sold. So when you come here, we're going to celebrate you. We're going to make videos about you. When you come over here, we're going to love on you. But what we don't want is, oh my gosh, I made a mistake. And, like, come on, bro. Like, ain't nobody got no time for that.
Yeah, but Harry, you know what, sir? Sometimes we're loving people that are not so lovable. That's the tough love part there.
You said you're loving people that's not so lovable?
That are not so lovable. That's just life.
Well,
we're trying to love somebody.
I don't know that the players are not. At no point that you don't know that a player is not lovable. You just want to make sure that you're getting good players. Because
no, not the players. We do good here with the players. I'm talking about in our chat room sometimes.
Oh, you talking about something different. I don't even know what you're talking about. I'm talking about, like, we want to love on the players when it comes to actually, like, we're loving on our players, and we're doing everything to speak positively in their lives and stuff like that. But then the next thing you know, they leave, and then you start hearing these weird things. So, anyways, that's why I'm saying,
I know you're talking. Okay.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, hey, get everything out of your system. Talk about everything. Put everything on that dining room table and just start talking about it. Take this one off. Like, okay, so there's a lot of TV cameras there. Okay, take that one off. Okay, so you got to go to class. Take that one off. Okay, so they're going to require you to say yes, sir, yes, ma'am. All right, you're not going to be the superstar there because you already are. Take that one off the table. And then when you come to a conclusion, you're like, you know what? I still like Prime because of what he stands for and all of these things. Then we know we got one. That's what I want. That's what I want to make sure that we get. You know what I'm saying? That's what I want to. So, hey, Wild Dog, you still there?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So, all right. So, what do you think about this lineman Chauncey? Let's get your thoughts on that before we move on.
That's a whole lot of beef, man.
Dude, 330 pounds, a high school student. Bruh. He's
But
6'3". Go ahead.
But it's some questionable for some reason about his speed, but that's just whatever coaches, trainers, or recruiters, you know. But he's got happy feet. I heard his agility. He moves like you ever seen a big man like my dance team that can dance, that can move. I heard he can move.
Okay.
He got happy feet.
So he can move. He's at 3. So the information out there is kind of, it's like, okay, he's 6'3" and a half, 360.
6'4".
Yeah. See, everybody's automatically going to like, okay, you know, this is someone that we use for the run. But honestly, he should be, you know, solid to good. Even coming right with the pass blocking is what I'm trying to go to. You know, happy feet can be a lot of things. Happy feet, agility applies to everything, but more so, even more to pass blocking. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I like this. I like the fact that we're actually now just thinking, you know what I'm saying, about this about the trenches. You know, it's always been important, but when it comes to like the mindset on how you recruit, and you recruit from the inside out. You feel me? Unfortunately, we had to do it from the outside in, because when Coach Brown got here, he was attracting more DBs and more specialty players than the actual trenches. And we had some good guys on the trenches that just didn't want to play for Prime initially. So we had to deal with that. But now it seems like, you know, the players, the trenches guys are actually thinking about Prime. And this is actually a good thing heading in the right direction, man, because for the future, and when you think about what's coming down the line and how the Big 12 is going to shape out, when you think about our down the road, if we get the right trenches, it's I don't know. I think we'll be competing for that Big 12 championship. And also, let's put it this way: do y'all see us staying in the Big 12?
That's a good question.
You say what? Staying in the Big 12?
Yeah. Do y'all see us staying in the Big 12? I feel like we're Big 10 material. I feel like we're headed to the Big 10.
I don't know. I'm old school with it, so I wish we had never left the Big 12 in the first place, but that's just me.
I feel like Coach Prime is going to take us to the Big 10. Because the Big 10 is like, okay, you're either SEC, is the two conferences are SEC, Big 10, and then the rest of us are down here at the bottom fighting for what's left over. But I feel like we're gearing up to go to that Big 10, because we get to that Big 10 next level, then we start like, I don't know if it necessarily changes the conversation, or you stay in the Big 12 and you dominate here, and then you don't have to worry about the other stuff. What are your thoughts on that?
I think when the SEC and the Big 10 get punched in the mouth in this 12-game playoff, that's going to change the dynamic. That's how I see that.
In which way? What do you mean? Like, explain that a little bit.
With this expansion, you know, like we talked about it once before, if I remember correctly, and I used the basketball analogy where we saw it play out, a similar thing with basketball, where it was the ACC and the basketball teams were going to split off, you know. And do their own thing, and the NCAA's response was, you know, the expansion of March Madness, you know, and then, you know, and then basketball teams, small schools who were going to lose their basketball teams on the bubble actually got boosted up, and then there was a second year you had a Cinderella team push through. So I think with this 12 team playoff, I don't want to say wait and see what happens, but I got a feeling like even last year, Harry, it was Pac-12 and Big 10 in the championship.
Right.
So I feel like parity's coming. Now, if the SEC and the Big 10 somehow make a turn to hold off the wave that's coming, then I think we have an issue where, Prime's going to look for what the options are and the most optimal situation for the program and for the athletic program.
So, okay, let's look at this playoff situation. So how does it break down? Let me see if I can remember, if I can pull up my my playoff bracket. Let me pull up my playoff bracket for the potential Big 12. I mean the 12 team playoff. Give me a second, guys, because I feel like let's put this up. Sorry, I gotta cover y'all faces real quick. So, how many games are we playing? Is it gonna be is it gonna be what? Semifinals, then finals, or how we go? Quarterfinals, semifinals, then finals?
Yeah, semifinal. Yeah.
We start with quarterfinals, semifinals, and then finals, right?
Yeah.
Because we got the first round, quarterfinals, semifinals, and then we got the championship. So what is that? That's 3 games.
Okay.
So each team has now have to play 3 games as opposed to just playing 1 game.
Yeah, 3 games to get to the championship. Yeah.
3 games to get to that championship game. And then that'll be 4 games. Yo. So
it's gonna be some lopsides and it's gonna be some upsets. I already feel it coming. Do
you see us staying this way, or do you see us going even larger?
I think possibly there could be, not to bring NBA into it, but I think possibly when there's teams on a bubble that you might have to play it out. If there's no way to break a tie, or if there's a lot of, media hype or fan backlash about a team not getting in, I think you might actually see a play-in.
Man, I just see this going to a much larger platform, because I mean, college football is used to seeing your favorite team. Once they get in, to play 1 game and then that's it. You know what I'm saying? But now you got to play 3 games before you get to that finals, before you get there. 3 games, and teams that could have possibly beat you, that were not in your bracket. You know what I'm saying? Now you potentially have to play those teams.
Yeah, the word is free agency and parity. The words is free agency.
Yeah.
And parity. So a lot of the advantages that the Blue Bloods have, they still got their advantages from their status and their pipelines and their networks. But the big picture is, these players can go anywhere. From the difference from one program to the next is going to be, the margin is going to be shrunken. Because if you want to be in the spotlight, if you want to, be on the big stage playing for a playoff, that's now 12 teams, dog. That's 3 times the number of teams. So you don't have to go to a blue blood to get on the big stage. That's just facts.
Just play and win.
Oh, that's a good thing. I'm glad you brought that up.
So it's like my sophomore year, I can start and be on the big stage. What you talking about? You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yo, I'm glad you said that, because that's actually another way to look at it for a lot of these players. Because if you had your blue blood teams, your Alabamas and your Georgias, your Michigans going to the national title games or the playoffs every year, and you wanted to be on that stage, now you don't necessarily have to go that route to get there. You can actually get there with other teams now. So now it's the parity and this is going to open up college football.
Yes, absolutely.
Yo, this is about to open up the whole game. It's about to open up the floodgates, because we don't have no example of this yet. But after this year, I think after we go through this whole 12-team playoff this year, I think the portal might be more jumpy than it was this year.
And Harry B, think about all those boosters who are, who kind of maybe haven't been as open or free with their wallets.
Right.
And you get an opportunity to actually like compete. You had to actually have an opportunity to be on the national stage competing. That's that. Think about that factor too. Wallets and pockets are going to open up. Sponsorships and everything is going to really open up.
Yo, that is a lot of implications that we weren't even thinking about, or that we haven't really talked about in depth on the show before.
Yeah,
because this is going to go ahead.
When Doug Flutie hit that Hail Mary, right? When Doug Flutie hit that Hail Mary, Boston College was just a small college. I even think their football program had been on the bubble, right? Because they were more academic. Right. And when he hit that Hail Mary and it put them on the national stage, national spotlight, money was flowing from everywhere.
Wow. So now teams like CU, teams, like Big 12 teams that maybe didn't have the opportunity to recruit some of these big, big namers that's coming from these big high schools like the IMGs and, Florida, Texas, and these big namers that's coming out, these 4-5 stars. I say after this year, that's going to spread the love out to make that happen. Okay, so Willie, I'll start with you, Willie. Do you think this is a good thing for college football or not?
Let's see. I think it will be. I think it'll be a good thing, because you got to for college football. You're looking at everything is revenue driven. Everything is driven by the dollar, by money. So in some cases it'll be good competitively. The thing that will concern me, how would it be if because you're going to be playing competitively, okay? And a lot of the kids, some of it's NIL money, but a lot of it has to do with the pride of winning. So I think in essence, yeah, it will be good. Because everybody don't get into it for the money. They get into it because they want to win. They want to get into it for bragging rights and everything. So I think in that respect, it'll be really good for college football.
All right. So what do you think, Wild Dog? Is this a good thing for college football, or you think this is people going to fight this?
They have estimates, but the money is going to explode because this is the number one sport. We have the highest gross product, and this is our number one sport. Mm-hmm. So they have estimates, but they really don't know what's going to happen. They're hoping that it will blow the top off the what they call a market cap, because like I said, you're going from a 4-team playoff to a 12-team playoff. I mean, each game is going to be crazy revenue, and TV and tickets, and I'm just one hand, I'm excited. Forgive me for stuttering. I'm excited, but it's going to be a really, really huge opportunity for smaller programs, even programs that are on the bubble.
But
any top 25 team.
Wild Dog, not Mad Dog.
I'm sorry.
Any top 25 team. It's going to change the financial landscape for them, because they have an opportunity to make that playoff.
Wild Dog, well, don't you think that the dollar sign comes in there some kind of way for revenues and stuff like that? That has to be foremost on. If you look at the powers that be, that has to be foremost on their mind more than anything else. Now, the fan, look, I want to see my team win. The players, we want to win for pride. But you got a third factor in there, or the number one factor. How much money can we get out of this? If we do this or if we do that, what's the dollar sign? At the end of the day, what's the dollar sign in it, for, us or me?
Yeah, overwhelmingly, revenue is the number one thing.
Yeah.
And then secondarily, I feel like it's integrity for college football, because forgive me if I'm wrong, but I believe it was 2000, or no, not 2004, 1994. That's why I was feeling different. I believe it was 1994. Colorado beat Nebraska, but Nebraska went on to play in the championship. Make that make sense.
So can I ask you something? I'll say something. I don't think that integrity, the people where really, I don't think they don't even think about the integrity of the game. To be honest with you, I can't see where they consider integrity, which means in a lot of cases character, and center that around dollar sign. They will sacrifice integrity for the dollar sign. That's been proven before.
Well, sometimes it goes hand in hand, because look at Florida State, who went undefeated, and they were excluded.
I know.
Yeah.
Like
and there was a huge backlash. So you can, you expand the playoffs, which is huge revenue for everybody, but then you also take care of an integrity issue at the same time.
Exactly, because it kind of handles itself, so it kind of takes the power, or at least some of the power, out of the hands of people having to decide your fate when you should just be playing for it. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Like you should play like let not somebody decide for you because you lost your quarterback. Oh no, I don't think you're gonna do that great if we're not gonna put a good product on the field. If we put you in, right? If we put you in, we'll have another TCU versus Georgia. So you know what I'm saying? So it's like every year they're kind of like weighing what product they want to put on the field, as opposed to just saying, hey, let the people play, let them play for it like they did during the season, and then you don't get to decide how this thing goes.
So that decision they made was not one on integrity, it was on the dollar sign.
Well, yeah, it's always, for the most part, it's always going to be what's best for like the sport. They're thinking about, hey, we want to put a good product on the field.
Yeah.
So
the best product means more money.
yeah, I think that's what Willie is talking about. That dollar sign. That's what it boils down to.
Yeah, I agree with you, Willie. The revenue is overwhelmingly number one.
Right.
But the best product, but even then too, the committee knows what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? They have all the data. You know what I'm saying? They have more data than they have use for. So they knew what was going to happen with the Florida State game. But just because they were right doesn't mean that people don't still have an issue with. You know what I mean?
Well, hold on. I'll push back a little bit on that, because I wouldn't say that they were right, because remember, a lot of the guys sat out because they felt like they were being disrespected, so they weren't going to play. So you didn't really get a true game. You didn't get you didn't get the starting team. You got.
Well, I'm with you, Harry. I just say the committee would say they were right.
They would say they were right because of how the game turned out, because of the outcome of the game. But you have to consider the elements of the game, or who played and who didn't play. Because I would say, even though they didn't have, they were either going to play their third or fourth string quarterback, or even having to get somebody who kicks, having to just throw the ball, right? Even though that was going to be the scenario, I think if you just let them in, the coach would have to coach. He would have had to do whatever he had to do to put, he would have had to step up and do what he had to do to try to win that game. But when you deflate them like that, then they don't really have nothing to play for. Because
Harry, you said it. The coach will have to coach, and the players gonna definitely have to play.
Exactly. But let them decide that. Don't let when you say, hey, go through your season, do everything you're gonna do, but at the end, I get to choose your fate.
Who goes?
Yeah, and that's where I feel like it got weird. So Michael P says Utah and Colorado to Big 10, Miami, FSU, Clemson, and Syracuse to the SEC.
Okay.
I personally feel like Colorado's headed to that Big 10. I know a lot of people want to think that Coach Prime is, he's setting himself up to go to a blue blood. I don't think that's the case. I still think Coach Prime is going to stay at Colorado and turn Colorado into a powerhouse. That's how I feel personally. But I think I don't think he stays at the Big 12. I think he moves on to the Big 10, just because of the I guess the way that the Big 10 and the Big 12 is like, and the SEC are so close as far as powerhouse is concerned.
Hey, Harry B, look to see what Rick George does about the baseball team.
Do we have whispers?
So I mean, they
there
have
whispers?
they have an intramural baseball team, but they don't have an official, CU team. So switching up again, I think that's going to play a part into it. That would be part of the progression in moving to one of the bigger conferences, because you can't just miss that's a big three in the country: football, basketball, baseball.
I mean, as far as high school recruiting, yes, baseball is one of the biggest when it comes to recruiting. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of kids that play baseball. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I mean, for the fact that CU doesn't have a baseball team is kind of weird. You know, I know the history. I know why they don't have it and all that. I did a video on that, but I still feel, yeah. So,
but trying to go to the Big 10 or SEC, I mean, again, on Willie's point, that's leaving money on the table.
you said that's leaving money on the table?
Yeah. When you go to this other conference, baseball is big money in the SEC, for example. Mm-hmm. I know that's the SEC, but
how is it losing? How will you leave money on the table if you go to the Big 10 or big SEC? Sorry.
Without a baseball team, yeah, you're losing TV revenue. You're losing all kind of opportunities if you don't have a baseball team.
Oh, you're saying if you go to the Big 10 or the SEC without a baseball team, you're losing money?
That would be the first objection, is that you don't have a baseball team.
Exactly. And
okay. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Now the Big 12,
you're talking from the standpoint. You're talking from the standpoint of the conference accepting you. That's what you mean?
Yes.
Okay. I see what you're saying. But what is Michael saying about baseball don't make money? Like, how does that play with college conferences? Baseball makes money, right?
Yeah.
If your team make it to the Nationals, if they're going to the Nationals or winning a division, sure, baseball will make a lot of money. I mean, not as much as football, but it can sustain itself.
Well, college football fans are bigger than the NFL fans, right? Even though in the NFL overall it's a bigger sport, but college football fan bases are bigger than NFL football. What's the difference between the college baseball fan base versus the MLB?
If you look at the SEC, it's huge. Any other conference, I'm not sure about. SEC, because they're always winning baseball titles and stuff like that. They're coming against the Clintons, and they're coming against some really powerful schools and everything. But they're always coming out on top.
We only hear about them when they're doing the championships, but we don't necessarily pay attention. Like, there's no Kalen Clarkson based in college baseball. No. We're not going to pay attention until something happens. Like, we need something to wake up college baseball for us to pay attention. I don't know anybody in college baseball. Nobody.
Well, put it this way, Harry. I mean, usually basketball arenas, hold about 10 to 12,000 people.
Okay.
Right. Baseball stadiums usually are going to double that, and then some.
And are they packed? Are those games packed all the time?
So you're looking at 20 to 50, but then it's not so much it's the number of games, Harry.
They play 1,000 games, bro. I can't with baseball. They play like 1,000 games per season.
so the opportunity. So it's like you can even have in baseball. It's like in football. Like when Colorado Buffalo show up, well, they suck. But when we show up, we're selling out your stadium and we're selling out merch. Mm-hmm. So the same thing happens. Right? The same thing happens in basketball, depending on how you come to who comes to your stadium, and the same thing will happen with baseball.
Okay. Well, I don't know about the baseball situation. Hopefully, we get the baseball team, but hopefully, I know we are definitely headed to that Big 10. I know we are. I think before Coach Prime leaves to go to an SEC school, I think he would rather take Colorado to the SEC. That's just how I look at it.
Yeah, I believe that.
I think, yeah, Coach Prime would just play his way you know what I'm saying, into the whole SEC situation as opposed to Coach Prime actually going to the SEC. So anyways, all right, guys, my time is up, man. We gotta leave it there. We gotta leave the conversation there. I didn't get into the actual breaking down of the Big 12 tonight because the conversation kind of like took over from what happened this weekend, but it's all good. We'll come back to it on Friday. Anything that happens from now up until Friday, we're gonna double back onto that time. So I just want to leave it right there. So like we can save some for next time. So let me have some final thoughts on this last weekend. Willie, we'll start with you.
Oh, like I said earlier, man, I'm happy that CU showed out the way they showed out. They gave it was a good showing. Now the final choice is left up to Juju, where he wants to spend his next 4 years. At the end of the day, that's what it's boiled down to, whether he wants to go. We're hoping it's Colorado. It will be great for Colorado, great recruitment for Colorado. We'll bring in some, because everybody wants to play. Everybody wants to play for a winner. And so that's going to definitely keep us on the winning track. Put us on the winning track, keep us on the winning track. But yeah. But hey, I'm excited about the fact that we were able to host them, man, and the way that we did. From what I've heard, the city really came out in support of it. I don't have a hamburger named after me, so I'm kind of jealous. They don't, and I would call it the Big Willie.
You know what?
Let's leave it at that. Hamburger named after me, to call it the Big Willie. Oh yeah, I can see that one selling out.
I want to pause that, but I'm not going to pause. I'm going to let you have it. Wild Dog, give us your final thoughts, sir.
Hey, Harry B. It's just like, get with the program, be a fit, and the time it's a really good time to come and be part of the CU fan base, CU athletic programs, and ride the wave, because we are returning to prominence. Skull Buffs.
Yeah.
I believe, and I see every sign is coming, and I've got every bit of patience, but we making moves, we're making progress, and coming out of any CU athletic program is going to be a blessing for you now and for your foreseeable future until you pass on. That's how we rock. Go Buffs.
Go Buffs, man.
I like.
Hey, man, thank you guys for joining me. I appreciate y'all. I will see y'all on Friday. If you're joining the show on Friday, guys, I will see y'all on Friday. That's Free for All Friday on TLP Live. I will see y'all there. Until then, see y'all on the next live. I'm out of here. Good night, guys. Take care.
All right. See you, Harry.
All right. Peace out.
Peace.